What David Common Purpose Cameron isn't telling you is that the United Kingdom is not a country, and that it's a corporate vessel listed at Companies House as the United Kingdom plc. The UK is part of the Sea of Commerce, aka Sea of Souls. This, my friends, is where the Roman Empire and the Vatican come in to control the UK plc and destroy the nation of England. They submerged our nation of land under invisible water and claim it's now under the jurisdiction of the Admiralty law, and gave you all Roman civil law in the place of common law. Admiralty law is based on Vatican canon law and was last adapted in 1984. All this occurred the same time as the destruction of America in exactly the same way. For an engineered world war, this created the bankruptcies which were hidden from the people. Admiralty law is the law of all businesses worldwide, which is controlled by the Holy See and its Knights of Malta, known as the greatest merchants on earth. The Admiralty system is commanded by the Universal Postal Union in Bernay, Switzerland, and the Crown Bar at New Jerusalem, aka the City of London, which serves the Holy See by proxy. So please tell me how the UK is a country, David Cameron. England is a country, as is Scotland and Wales, not the UK. Now he claims we're a Christian country, but I just wonder if he stated at all a true Christian nation, or a Catholic pagan spin-off nation, or a Catholic pagan puppet nation. In truth, England has never been a true Christian nation at the very top. It's always had the pagan hand-me-downs tied into its system. That's why you have a church to go to worship in. True Christians do not go to church and do not worship, whilst also don't have a religion, believe it or not. This is why the Anglican Church has bishops and archbishops, the same as the Babylonian mystery religion paganised Catholic Church. This is why Britain celebrates Easter and Xmas, both ancient wicked festivals such as Ishtar and Saturnalia forbidden by the Bible. This is why courtrooms ask for an oath on the Bible, but know that the Bible forbids oaths of any kind. England has never been Christian, never will be, and certainly isn't right now. The people have been fooled yet again. You must be able to see the hypocrisy as abortions are forced onto the mindsets of the populace to achieve the goals of the UN Agenda 21 and Global 2000 report by the Club of Rome, aka genocide. Have I not read Genesis, where it tells you that man was created in God's image with dominion over the animals? Have you not read and understood that man's blood must never be spilt? Obviously not, else you wouldn't murder God's creation in the womb of life and then make cosmetics and vaccines out of it, whilst turning man into a cannibal by making flavour enhancers out of aborted fetal tissue, as PepsiCo, controlled by Dame of Malta Queen Beatrix, and Nestle, controlled by Vatican. So tell me, David Cameron, which type of Christian are we? As I said, it's pure hypocrisy, and another fine example is the push of homosexuality, which is forbidden in the Bible. So how can one be Christian? Again, further population reduction to aid the mythical Malthusian mindset and its genocidal agenda plans. So now we have David Cameron destroying our succession laws, keeping Catholics off our throne. We have Catholics covertly ruling our nation from St John's Wood and 114 Mount Street in Westminster, amongst others, and Catholic families such as the Pavlicini, Howard, Percy and Powell. Our nation has been taken over by New Jerusalem, which serves the papacy via the Ad Providum 1312 papal bull, and has done for a very long time before this group takeover change. The Knights of Malta took full control of the Templar power over the City of London, as well as their St John's Wood headquarters, just as they did with Aventine Hill in Rome via this bull. The Jesuits took a step into the covert power within the City of London in 1694, and had taken over completely in 1798 when they'd subordinated the Knights of Malta. By 1815 the Jesuits had openly taken control from the Knights of Malta, a revenge so sweet to them, as the Jesuits are the Aragon Templars, who believe they're the only Knights Templar, seeing as the Pope allowed them to survive in the Kingdom of Aragon. All other Templars, such as the Knights of Christ in Portugal, funded by the Doria family and others, were seen as inferior, and the same for the Scottish Templars, like the Sinclair family. Their destruction or takeover had to be executed, and this is what happened as the Jesuits fought to regain number one position in the Templars, and then take revenge on the stealer of its riches and titles, the Knights of Malta. Then when the Pope suppressed the Jesuits in 1773, the Vatican of that time and onwards would become the next target for revenge. The Knights of Malta were going to take a real subordination after angering the Aragon Templars a second time in 1768, when Grand Master Manuel Fonseca removed them from Malta. So basically the Jesuits teamed up with the Rothschilds, using sheep-dipped Jesuit priest Adam Weishaupt, in order to keep the Jesuit South American reductions safe away from Catholic banks, who would steal it as their own. Since this time the Sabbatean Frankist Hofjuden, Rothschilds, have been highly thought of by the Jesuits and have been used as frontmen for the Aragon Knights Templar connected with the powerful papal nobility families and their House of Bourbon Emperor power over the revived Holy Roman Empire connected with the Farnese family, who commissioned the Jesuit order for the Borgia family of Aragon, with origins from the Order of Montesa and the Order of the Calatrava, both of which are controlled today by Emperor Juan Carlos of Spain, who's their Grand Master. The Jesuits are protected by Emperor Juan Carlos's CNI intelligence agency in Borgo Santo Spirito, just as they protect the Emperor in Piazza di Spagna when he dwells at Villa Medici at Villa Borghese. So tell me, how can the UK be Christian with such a Roman history, both overt and covert? How's about how the Pope walks around on English soil as God on earth, with the Duke of Edinburgh and Dame of Malta Elizabeth Mary II walking behind him? We all know that the goal is to destroy all current religions, including Catholicism, which is a sneaky plan from which to aid in the veil of who holds the power, all as the leadership of the Holy See continues into the next pagan religion worship with new garments and titles, but this time unified totally as one for the good of mankind. Instead, the beast has consumed humanity as they fall for the hoodwink. Don't be fooled by any of it as we enter the next dark ages which the Reformation moved us away from all those years ago. The chaos in our lands is engineered to bring order, known as Ordo ab Chao, which goes back to the Scottish Rite 33rd degree, the Great Work, which was the order created by these Aragon Templars to destroy the Scottish Templarism, remembering that Sovereign Grand Commander Albert Pike was controlled by Jesuit soldier Pierre-Jean de Smet S.J. Tony Blair is a Catholic and a Knight of Malta, as is his wife, whose ancestor John Wilkes Booth assassinated President Lincoln for the Jesuits, for which all diplomatic ties with the Vatican were severed. The death warrant, of course, being created by the secret Star Chamber and part signed off by Privy Councillor Roundel Palmer. In the meantime, you may find they'll make Catholicism save the day and bring back morals to Western society, especially as its head religion over all others, commanding the interreligious dialogue. Welcome to the New World Order, aka World Government, which is nothing more than the temporal power of the Pope. Look who's calling for a World Bank and a New World Order, and use your common sense and see the Antichristos is already here. Futurism was a lie. If you're an atheist, you've been fooled this way to aid the beast destroy current religions, and then you'll be made to worship Lucifer at the end of your troubles. Wake up, people, this is mental and spiritual warfare at its best. Cameron is killing people daily, both domestically and internationally. How can he be a Christian? The Bible forbids killing, yet Cameron continues for ego, greed and power as he adores his lifestyle which the City of London has given him. He continues to aid in the austerity and poverty in this nation whilst cutting off welfare entirely to people and disabled. He even forces sick cancer patients to soon undergo harassment from the Nazi DWP about finding a job when they're having chemotherapy and during a time when there's no jobs in a depression. I might also add that the cancers are thriving today because it's been engineered this way with viruses created for this purpose, as well as all the pollutions and chemicals, and not forgetting the terrible food supply and water supplies riddled with carcinogenics. Then of course we've got the background radiation, especially now with Fukushima on top of Chernobyl and all the thyroid problems and cancers that caused the last 20 odd years. Wake up to Cameron and this tough pomp nonsense today from him and the media rags. It's time to remove this tyrant and his backers from this nation. It's time for lawful rebellion, total no trust of the government and its system, and a vote for the British Constitutional Group. David Cameron is a terrorist on English soil and must be removed by any means necessary if our country is to come back